All right. I am so excited. What's up, everybody? I see people are already jumping on. So y'all must know that I got this celebrity waiting backstage to jump on here with me. So I love it. If you are on, y'all say hi. This is her first time, and y'all wonder who is her. Y'all gonna find out. Just give me time. But this is her first time ever interviewing. So y'all, I have to throw this out here because I get excited when I get the first exclusive interview. So I am not gonna prolong the time because we got a bunch of questions, and I want if you got any questions out here to answer those questions. But y'all, tonight, oh my God, let me tell y'all. I have never seen what I'm about to introduce to you guys tonight. I have not seen it in the DFW area. So y'all are the first to get this here. So go ahead and click that share button. I love saying it. I want to have my own YouTube thing going on. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and share right now. Get the people in the room. Go in messages. Hit them up in messages. You get everybody that you can to log on. But tonight we have, y'all, Nicole Simmons. Nicole is a director of photography. She's a camera operator, editor. She completed her degrees in radio, TV, film, and video production from the University of North Texas and the Art Institute of Dallas, respectively. She began her career in production as the lead camera operator. Let me back up and say that again. Y'all know I love that, don't you? She began her career in production as the lead camera operator and editor of a local Dallas talk show. And I am familiar with this show, The Jim Austin Show, which aired on ION Network and KTXD. And in her tenure, Nicole expanded her work as a camera operator and editor to producer, director, and director of photography. Now, her most recent work includes producing and directing the online shows, The Breakdown and Life Without Ali, editing the films The Moment and Love You Later. She also served as the director of photography for the online series Different and the director of photography and editor for the films Chloe's Pocketbook Diary, which I did watch that film. Yes, I did. And Just Between Us Girls. So I am excited, y'all, tonight. We were talking before I bring her on. I just want to say this. I have never met a Black, no offense. I've met several Caucasians, female filmmakers, but I have never met a Black cinematographer, videographer, whatever y'all want to call it. I have never met one face to face. And we have a lady that's coming on to talk to us about this experience. Y'all know we are Ladies in Film and Television. I am Jeanette Greenwood, for those that don't know. And we want to share our membership spotlight. She is a member of the organization, and we want to spotlight her tonight and bring on all these skills that she have. We want to share the wealth. So without further ado, I am bringing to the stage, y'all. Y'all give it up with some hearts. Now, look, I'm real high on the hearts. That's how I can't hear you clap, okay? I can't see you clapping. But you can push that heart button, and I like when you push it a whole bunch of times. Just lay on it. Lay on that heart button and give us some love, y'all, as I bring to the stage, to the TV, whatever you want to call it, live with me, Miss Nic Simmons.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, with all of this this knowledge, like I say, I'm so excited to be able to even have this opportunity to talk to you, just to pick your brain and to find out so much information about videography from a woman's point of view. I mean, y'all, you know my boy Freddie. Okay, I've been with Freddie forever. So, don't be watching Freddie, but we love you, Freddie. But I mean, we're used to seeing that. We're used to seeing men in this industry. But to have a woman in this industry, it is, and a Black woman. I mean, just being honest, it's different. You're the first. So Who is Nic Simmons?
That's a very hard question for me to answer. I don't know. I mean, I'm just me. Like, as far as like professional goes, I just want to be like the best director of photography I can be, and I want to like make content that has some substance. I don't know. I'm just kind of like a chill, like sit in the back type of person. But when it comes to the work, I just want people to know my work.
Wow, wow. Now, how did you get into cinematography?
Like I've always been interested in like production and everything. When I was like 15, we got like the house camera, like a
Mm-hmm.
little mini DV type thing. Like nobody ever played with that thing except for me. So then I just decided I was going to school for it. And like even though like I've just recently been able to go full time, like I've never stopped doing it. So I'm always doing something. I'm always shooting something. I'm always like trying to get better, watching something, talking to somebody. Um, so it's just like I think it's just in me. Like it's just there. It's the only
So,
thing I've ever wanted to do.
so are you in school right now?
No,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
no.
I was like, are you still in school? Girl, hey, but we gotta do, gotta do what we gotta do. Now, I know that you've been doing this for a long while. So how long have you actually been doing this?
So I graduated from UNT in '08, and I kind of started videography then, and then I went to the Art Institute and graduated in 2011, and that's when I got that first job with the TV show. So I would say 10, 11 years
Okay.
officially.
What is the worst mistake that you've made filming?
Um, so my first job out of the Art Institute, I was a legal videographer. And if you know, listening to depositions can be very boring. So one of the depositions was like super boring, and I was having an audio issue. So I had to fix the audio issue, and I didn't turn the camera off while I fixed the audio issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I fixed it, I went and turned I hit the play button again. So I was no longer recording. Um so yeah, I definitely lost my job after that. So so that
Oh,
was probably
wow.
the worst one with consequences anyway.
Oh my God. So you basically missed the whole court session.
Well, the audio was recording, so
Well, I got some of it, you know?
yeah. So, but it was for
Wow.
a huge client. So yeah.
Oh wow. Oh wow. And thanks everybody for joining. We're live with Nic Simmons. I see we got people on. If you don't mind just saying hello in the chat, we would love to hear you and say something and say hi to you guys. But thank you so much for joining. Now back to you, Nic. As a writer, I'm a writer, director. I know a couple of things that ruffle my feathers when I'm on set. But what do you see on set that ruffles your feather, or what is your pet peeve? Because I want to know, because I plan on working with you, so you can go and tell me now.
You know what? I like to have fun on set. I actually am probably a lot more like serious when I'm in like the director of photography role, but I want it to be enjoyable. I want everybody to be able to enjoy. But at the same time, I want us to move forward. Like let's get the work done. Let's capture our shots, because a lot of times we have very ambitious days. So we just need to make sure that that we get what needs to be done.
Okay. So your thing is, you don't like it. Sound like you don't like a boring set. You don't like.
No, I mean, set should be fun. Filming is fun. Like, if
I
you don't love
agree.
it, why are you doing it? So it should be fun,
I
you
agree.
know.
I agree.
But
Okay.
filming is work. So sometimes we can't let the fun get in the way of the work.
Right, right. But it shouldn't just be just tense at all times with yelling and cursing and all that.
Oh no, not at all. Not at
Yeah,
all.
I get you.
Like
I get
I
you. I
I
like
I
having
try not
fun.
to yell at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
I try not to have to yell.
Okay.
Like
I
ever.
get you. I get you. I love having fun on set. I love it. So, what is your inspiration to film?
What do you mean, like the type of
What
content or like
inspires
why?
you? Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the visual aspect combined with the substance. So, I mean, it doesn't always have to be like heavy or deep or anything. It should, I just feel like it should always like speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like shoes. And when I'm buying shoes, when I'm like really looking for a pair of shoes, like I have to like react to that pair of shoes in order for me to buy it.
Okay. What type
And
of
so,
reaction? Like what? Like
like, I have to
wow.
be just like, yeah, like, oh my God, I really want that shoe. And then if I don't buy it right then, like if it keeps coming back to me, and I feel like that's how film should be. Like you should want, like you should have a reaction, especially for the work that you're doing or the work that you're seeing. There should be some type of reaction to it. And so that's my goal, is to create content that creates that type of reaction, whether it's a laugh, it's a, oh my God, who shot this, it's emotion, whatever I have to do to try to contribute to that part, my part to the story.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a big question. I'm going to put you on
Uh-oh.
the spot. I put, we might, this question might go, we might not even get to the rest of the question. This might stop it. But but we, man, I'm going to ask the question, and then we'll dig in. What, and I want you to be 100% honest with this question. And if anybody come for you, I got your back. Okay. But, but what are your thoughts, your true thoughts about the film industry in Texas? Have you filmed anywhere outside of Texas? Or most of your
No.
family been in Texas?
Most of my filming has been in Texas. I would love to go and do some stuff in Oklahoma just because that's where I'm from. So I would love to go and be able to do something there. But I think we have a really good growing industry. Obviously, there's a lot of folks out there that are making a lot of money and making a splash as DPs in like the corporate space.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual film space is still, like, I feel like it's catching up. Um the big thing that I would say, and that I knew, but now I'm really, really learning firsthand, is, I mean, it's relationships. Because I have been on so many sets where 4 people walked in that I worked with before, or something like that.
It's small,
And
even though Texas is so big.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh yeah, I see you, and then, oh, you're gonna be on this set too. Okay, I'll see you there. So like whatever role you in, you have to make sure that, one, you do it well, and you're a nice person and good to work with. So I think in that regard, I haven't really felt like, I feel like it's a community in a way. I haven't super felt like a lot of competition. I've had a lot of, like, several people like that I'm talking to, like, very encouraging when I ask questions. I mean, they're very forthright with information. Like, for me, it's been pretty good. I haven't had any like really bad experiences.
And you know what? And I can honestly believe you in that, because as I said, opening up, you're rare. You don't have any competition when it comes to you as far as being a female DOP, because there aren't any. So it's like you don't have that competition, which is a good thing, because
The
you're gonna.
only problem is the problem that you get with that is I won't say the dismissal, but
Come on, that was going to
the
be a question, but go ahead, dig in. I'm go ahead. I think I
is
know where you're going.
is the dismissal between the men and the women. So you're kind of looked at second. So now I have been on sets where, even if it's my production, like I'm in charge, I'm making decisions, that they will go and ask the guy who's working with us or something like that, like ask their questions and stuff. So I've had those experiences before. I mean, it's kind of the life of being a woman, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, but and those are the things that we want to change in this industry. And I get it, even for me when I started, when I jumped in and I came in as a writer. I get that because I experienced even as being vice president of another organization of not not being looked at or taken more seriously as a black director or I mean it is different and it's a lot different when you're a minority.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we definitely want to see changed, is that we won't have to feel like that, that or see it. I mean, it's not that we're feeling it, we're actually seeing it
Yeah.
happen, that they will go past you and go seek the opinion of a man.
Yeah.
And that's hurtful, I
Yeah.
would think that, wait a minute, I know the same, if not more, as him. So can we get that same respect? That was
Yeah.
actually one of my questions. So how do you handle that? I mean, do you voice your concern maybe privately, or do you go off? I mean, how do you handle situations like that? Or do you just ignore it?
I guess it's probably a combination of addressing. I don't address it with the person, like I guess the culprit,
Right.
but I've addressed it with the people who like have been involved. Like, so like I actually just had to say, hey, did you notice? And so at that point, you know, that person was noticing more and more, and he could now point out the times that it was happening.
Mm.
So, um, I just kind of like live with it
Yes.
because it is what it is. And luckily, the people that I was working with could redirect and be like, "Hey, she's the one. This will be a question for her." So I haven't had the experience where somebody I'm actually like in partnership with has
Mhm.
taken that attitude or anything like that, but just kind of the outside folks.
Yeah. I mean, and that I heard you say that the person that, it wasn't his fault that they came to him and
No.
looked over you. But did I understand it right that he started noticing it?
Right. Yeah. Cause like we're blind to the things that don't super affect us if we don't have to, like, if nobody says it. And so, I just kind of started pointing out small stuff, and then he started noticing the stuff too. So,
Now, did he help with making changes, like redirect them to you?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
good, good. That's
No,
good.
it was never like, well, I'm a guy, so yeah, I can handle this. Always like, this is, if it's my project or I'm the one that can answer that question, it was always, okay, Nicole can answer that.
Good. I mean, and that's a wonderful thing. And that's what we need to see more of, is the redirection. And if we get more men, that's the wonderful thing that I'm excited about for the men that have joined Ladies in Film. That, a lot of people think that the organization is for women only. No, we respect our men and we respect the men in the industry. So we learn from each other. But I like the fact that they respect us in that fashion, to say, we're
Mm-hmm.
equal in the industry. We're equal. I don't feel because I'm a man, I know more than you, or I should be looked on as superior. So I'm glad to hear that he redirected them away from him over to you, and to give you that respect. That's a good thing. I'm glad to hear that. So
Yeah.
kudos to whoever he is.
Yeah. I mean, I've been lucky. Like the people that I've worked with, generally have been pretty good about stuff like that. Um, yeah, so I've been pretty lucky in that way.
Good. That's good. I mean, that's very encouraging to hear. Now, what other roles have you held in the film industry? I know you've done DOP. Is it anything else that you've done?
So I've done a little bit of everything. I haven't written a full script yet, but I'm working on that. But I've directed uh, a film. I directed a film in 2016 called Given Circumstances. It was a short. That was my first director's title. And then I've done like other like online shows and stuff where I've been the producer, the director. Obviously, I mean, I won't say obviously, but I'm also an editor. So a lot of those technical roles I've kind of stepped into when necessary. But I guess at this one moment, the biggest focus will be director of photography and then moving in editing, because I tend to edit the films that I'm shooting at this point. And then I've edited some other films too. And then moving into the director's direction and probably working with somebody to develop scripts.
Wow. Okay. So now your videography, your editing, you're doing so. Of all of this, I would think videography is your favorite, but I mean, you've tapped into some different stuff. So is videography your favorite thing to do, or is it some of the other stuff?
I love like being the person behind the camera for sure. As far as like I would say I would differentiate videography from director of photography. I like videography. That's more of a kind of a come and shoot what's there. This is in my opinion. But as a director of photography, I get to sculpt and mold and and things like that, and work with the rest of like the crew to kind of to come together for a vision. And that part, like I'm in pre-production now for a film called Intentions, and we just been kind of searching through other like films and stuff like that, and I just been watching and being inspired and figuring out the look that I want to take for this film and how it matches and everything like that. So that whole process of being like the director of photography, I mean, I don't think there's no other feeling if you really, really love it.
So the DOP is your fave.
Yeah, I love that. I love
All
it.
right. Okay. Well, I'm taking notes. Okay. Now, I think we've already kind of talked about this question, which was what were some of your challenges, if any, faced as a woman filmmaker? And that was one thing that you mentioned about them overlooking you and going to the male. Is it any other challenges other than that you faced?
Um, sometimes it's really a weird dynamic, and this is not a bad thing at all. It is a little interesting kind of quirk, maybe. Is like the equipment is heavy, and there's a lot of it sometimes. So guys will be like, "Hey, I'll help you, whatever," which is great. Like it's no problem. But it's also like you have to know that I understand and I can work and I can do and I can carry and all that stuff too. So it's like an interesting type of thing, because it's them being polite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like seeing a woman carrying heavy things or carrying a lot of things or something like that, and just trying to help.
Right.
But it's real interesting because like, okay, I'm just working, I'm doing my job. Like this is what I'm supposed to do. But I wouldn't call that a challenge. It's just really interesting when it happens.
I get it because that's the man thing to do. Mm-hmm. Especially with a woman, when they seeing a woman carrying stuff, or even if you look like you're struggling a tad bit, they're gonna run and help. And to be honest, even though I know that's your job as a female director, I think if I was to see you coming in with a bunch of stuff and guys are standing there and looking, I'm like, y'all get over there and help her. You know?
Yeah, like it's real weird, but I don't have to, like, I try not to, I don't expect it, because especially on the job, I don't expect it. Right. And if I'm working for somebody else, like I also am an assistant camera. So if I'm on and I'm doing assistant camera and the DP asked me to do something, it doesn't matter what it is. I have to just go do it. If it's pick up a heavy light and move it, and then that's what it is. So I don't expect those types of things on set, but when they happen, it's kind of just like, thank you. But it's kind of weird because I'm just like in job mode at that point.
Right. Exactly. Okay. All right. Now, what is your goal as a filmmaker? What do you want to accomplish soon or later? What is your primary goal?
So the biggest goal that I have right now, I mean, I'm just trying to shoot everything I can. That's the first thing. But everything that I can, quality. And then I want to join the union. So that's the biggest goal right now. And I also want to like find some ownership, because like when you're full time and you're a freelancer, you're going to job, you know, sometimes it can slow down, and you know, sometimes it's great. It is, you know, I haven't had too many issues so far, but I also just want to have something, I won't call it passive, but something that's mine. So I want to own, I really want to have a network.
Okay.
And that's, and develop shows. And that's pretty much like the end game, is to develop shows and hopefully shoot some of them.
All right. Man, that is so needed. I know she and I were talking offline, and I was telling her, she has really inspired me, and I would love to get I used to actually, this is a real live story. If any of my cousins log on, they gonna vouch for it. I'm gonna say I probably was like 13. I've been interested in film, writing, poetry, singing, dancing. I mean, just entertainment. Period. All my life since since I can literally remember, I wanted to sing, entertain, or do something. And I remember I used to actually, we would pretend like we were filming. I didn't even have a camera. Okay, so I would be like, okay, cut. All right, so I'm directing a whole video with no camera. I'm doing this. This is way back. So I don't know how old you are, but I go way back. So I'm rolling the camera, and I would always pretend like I was filming and behind the camera and directing and stuff. So I can really relate to you when you say how this is when they had a little camera, you were the only one that picked it up. We had a camera, my dad wouldn't let me touch his. I was not allowed to touch it. But I mean, I think about that time, and I say, I'm thinking, okay, I'm 54. Will I ever get this opportunity to do it? And what would you say to women like me? Because I told you I really want to do it, and you said you won't show me. But what would you say to women like me who may feel like, should I even try to get behind the camera, or do this, or will I even catch on? What would you say to us that are really thinking about it, but kind of feeling like maybe we've gotten a little bit too old?
Do it. I mean, like, it's like, I feel like this is the best. It's probably the best and the worst time to be in film, right? Because the barrier to entry is so much easier than it was 10, 20 years ago.
That's true.
So we can all get, I mean, I'm not saying $10,000 is not a lot of money, but we can all figure out $10,000 and go get a camera. We can all figure out $3,000 and go get a camera. And the way that they're building cameras these days, you're going to get a good picture.
Right.
So I would just say, like, do it. And something that, again, I had to learn, because I've been a sit back, do it by myself type of person, is talk to people. Just reach out, talk to people. I had a colleague yesterday. He sent me a text message and said, hey, don't forget to reach out and talk to people. Reach out to some people. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. And so,
that's
like,
good.
Yeah. And I mean, it held me accountable. And so I would just say, go out and do it. Just talk to people, figure out what your story is. I'm not saying it's easy, but just learn it, study it, and do it. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because I won't say that people helped me back or anything like that, but it was definitely kind of like, oh, so you're gonna major in film? All right. Twice. Okay.
Well, you know what? I want to tell you that I'm proud of you that you did, because I can't blame anybody, but I came out of school in the 80s. Okay, the late 80s, I came out of high school. And pretty much that was what was told to me by my Black counselor. I went to a predominantly Black high school, and I was told that because I wanted to get into film, into music, the entertainment industry. I just wanted to get into entertainment. And I was pretty much told that, you might want to be a teacher, or you might want to do something else, because, it's not a lot of Blacks making money at this. And at that time, it wasn't. But I really have a lot of regret that I wasn't like you and just said, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway. Who knows where I would have been if I would have had that drive to do it. But of course, I'm listening to my elders. I'm listening to a woman that I respect all my year of high school, and I feel like she knew what she was talking about. I'm not saying that she didn't, but she was looking at what was happening in our era. But I'm looking at all the opportunities that I missed, and this was not something that I just felt like I wanted to do. This, like you said, was something as a kid. And I hear over in how they say, I don't know, I might be quoting this wrong, in China, over there, how they have like put things down on the ground for the babies, and whatever the child pick up, that's what they're going to be. And I guarantee you, I was picking up pen, paper, and stuff like that because I like to write. And those are things that I enjoyed. So I missed a lot of opportunities by listening to people. So I applaud you for saying, when they told you, oh, you're going to go to school for film. I am. I applaud you for that. And for those of you that are out here listening, I want to tell you, go for whatever you want to do with it, because I feel like that's what a career is. Something that you enjoy doing. It's not a job, something that you just got to go to make your money and make your end meet. But a career is something that every day you wake up, you're waking up happy because this is something that you love doing. And I applaud you for that. I do.
Thank you.
I applaud
you. I can relate to what you're talking about as far as like opportunities missed. Because I did I was like, I'm going to school for this, I'm doing it. But my full-time jobs, none of them, except for the one, had anything to do with film or video or anything like that. And you get grown and you get stuck sometimes, and you got to try to figure it out. So I would say, even for the person who still, got a full-time job, kids, bills, all that type of stuff, make a plan and just go for it. Just go for it.
I agree 100%, because if you got the talent, you definitely can make money doing it. And you definitely can make money. You may not become the A-list or the top, but you can still make money doing what you love and survive. So I agree.
I mean, think about, there's a lot of singers out there that's not famous, but they make money and they're fine. So
exactly. Yeah. And they're still, they're booking, they're doing shows. So I agree with you. It's money to be made. And I think some of us, I mean, and as a child, that you always say, I want to be a celebrity, or I want to be I wanted to be. And so you think that being a celebrity is success, or being well known is success. And I had to grow up to realize that that's not true. That is not true. That's not true at all. What do you label success? What is success to you? That wasn't one of my questions, but I just threw that out because I just said it.
For me, I just want my work to be known and well received. Like, I don't have to be famous. Obviously, I think my name should be recognizable, maybe.
Right.
But I just want the work to speak. That. I think if I get to get up, like you said, every day, do what I want to do, I'm making a living at it, and I get to pursue opportunity. I think that was the big thing that I missed having those full-time jobs, is you can't pursue opportunity, because if you see something and they're like, yeah, we want you, can you come on Wednesday afternoon at 2? No.
Right. You're like, I gotta go to work.
Yeah, no, I can't. So I think just being able to pursue opportunity, even if, and this is probably like maybe the downside of it, but maybe it's not so successful. Maybe it's not enough to sustain you for work or something like that. But maybe you get something into a couple of film festivals that makes a mark, that touches people. There's that too.
And it is. And I totally agree with you. Success is not always being the most known. I think success is based on what you call success.
Right.
And what I call my success. So I don't think anybody else can label our success. I don't agree with that. I think
exactly
it's what we feel, what our accomplishments are. So yeah.
Because we all have different goals and dreams and aspirations and things like that. And it's not, to be famous. Like, I definitely want some of those titles.
Right.
Like I want to be, you know, in the Society of Cinematographers. I want to be in the Society of Camera Ops, stuff like that. But, you know, again, if I'm getting calls to go to work and to do what I want to do, and then also I get to create and build something that I love, then like what more can you really ask for?
Exactly. And you know, I know even with me writing, I've actually won several film festivals, and sometimes
Nice.
I believe it or not, y'all, I mope around sometimes. Y'all probably think, no, you always out here happy. Sometimes I mope, but I thank God for my husband. He stays on me. Like even now, he's like, you know, my husband, he kind of hard, y'all, but he be like, you need to, you know, you need to just focus on your writing. You need to stop stressing about all this other stuff, this job, everything. You need to just really focus. And one day I really, you know, one day I kind of got mad. I'm like, well, I can't focus. We got bills over here, you know, kids, and you know. And one day I just really thought about what he was saying, and you know, he knows because he watched me write. When I'm in my writing zone, I'm in the bed, he watching TV, I got my laptop in my lap, I'm writing, I'm laughing, I'm getting quiet. So I'm going through all these emotions writing, and he sees how much joy that really brings me. And he was like, you need to work in your element.
Yeah.
And I say, you know, it's a lot of women probably be like, why are you bucking against that? Because I wish my husband would tell me that. And I learned that I need to really do that. I need to work in my element. And it's several of us, like you say, we're out here, we're doing our thing. If we're waking up happy doing what we do, and we're making it, you know, we're
Yeah.
not asking anybody else to pay our bills, we okay.
Yeah. I mean, and it could only get better, I think, when you start, like, you have work that's won film festivals. So you're gonna have a name. People are gonna recognize you. People are gonna ask you for things. People are gonna come to you. So it can only get better if you're happy in that space and you're just continuing to work it.
Right.
Because I feel the same way. Like I think, you know, I've been working for a long time. I've done a lot of stuff. Nobody knew my name except for the people I was working with. But you know, when Chloe's Pocketbook Diary came out, that was a catalyst for more folks to see me, to see my name. Well, I'll say see my name because they didn't see me. But if you're looking for it, because you know, unless you know, no, not too many people are looking for the DP who shot it. But you know, that was a catalyst for more relationships, more
Right.
whatever. Somebody's like, oh, you're director of photography. Oh, I have a movie on Tubi, or you can see it here or there. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So when you're working in that space and then you're producing and people can see it, then it can only build on itself.
Exactly. Exactly. Now I got another question for you.
Okay.
I think you're going to enjoy this one. I think you name a director in the industry. I don't care where they are, Hollywood, local, whatever, that you would just like, man, I would just love to work with that director.
So, my favorite DP director is Steven Soderbergh. He's
Okay.
been my favorite for probably since I was in the Art Institute. He did like the Oceans movies and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I would love to work with him to pick his brain about how he chooses like his color palettes, how he chooses his shot selection and all that type of stuff, because he uses color it's very intense. Like, you know, it's there. It's not a subtle thing or anything like that, but it works for his films. And I'm really into like color theory and things like that kind of just, again, contribute to the whole of the story. So if I could pick today, then definitely that would be who I want to work with.
Okay. Hey, y'all heard it. We're going to share a tag. You know, come get her. She want to work.
Oh yeah, I want to work.
She want to
I
work.
definitely want to work.
So next question, how often do you study your craft? Now I know that you've graduated, you've gotten your degrees, you're on sets, but is there anything else that you do outside of that? And do you feel it's more to learn?
Oh, there's so much more to learn. So much more. So I study my craft every day in somehow, some way. And so when I'm on set, if I am not the director of photography, and even if I am, I'm watching other roles just to see how people do stuff. I'm watching the director. I'm watching the sound guy. And I'm over with in the sound guy's ear, like, hey, help me out. um, I'm watching, like, if I'm not the director of photography, I'm watching the director of photography and I'm asking questions and all kind of things. If I'm not on set, I listen to podcasts. I watch so much YouTube videos. Like even a little thing like most people are fans of the well, I'll say a lot of people are fans of The Office, and so they have a rewatch podcast. And so I listen to that podcast, and they talk about the writing. They talk about how they developed their characters. They talk about how they felt in those moments. They talk about how things were shot. And so I'm listening as one, a fan of the show, but also as an artist too, and I can take those things back. I have tutorials. If you've ever heard of Udemy, they have like tutorials and stuff. So I have a few that I paid for that I need to go watch. If I'm watching a movie now, I'm looking at how they're lighting it. I'm looking at the shot selection. Like it's nonstop for me at this point. I'm like, oh, that's a good shot. I like, I can use that for this project I'm working on. Like there's not a day where I'm not thinking about something, some aspect.
Wow, that's good. I mean, that's good, and that is something that we all should do. Even with me as a writer, I have found myself. My husband got on me because, believe it or not, I some years ago, and it's a long story why I stopped watching TV, but I had just literally stopped watching TV, and it's a reason. I got a whole documentary coming out, so y'all just hold y'all thoughts. So why did Jeanette stop watching TV? It's a long story, but I eventually started back watching TV. So I'm really like lost on a lot of the new actors and stuff like that. I'm really like lost on a lot. Who are these people? Because I remember people way back before I stopped watching a lot of TV. But my husband, he got on me again and was like, you need to start watching more movies. You need to start watching more TV. And I'm just like you. It's like, I feel you on when you say every day, because even as a writer, now that I am watching more shows and watching more TVs, I'm paying attention to the way that that they're writing. And even with the sets, I'm paying attention to, oh, I would like to get a set like that, or I want to have, so before I got into film, the way I watch TV is totally different now.
Oh yeah. You can't even help it. You can't help it. Like it's just what you see now.
Right. It's totally different. So it's like I'm paying attention to everything in more detail. And really it's a little bit more exciting to me because I'm learning. Like you say, I'm learning a lot just watching. And I'm starting to read a lot of people's scripts and try to improve my craft and script writing and stuff like that. So I'm reading in my class we just got through we actually did a Bridgerton episode. We did a class. Oh man, I never watched that show.
And yeah, I haven't either. I heard it's really good though.
Until I got that script, and I'm like, what the heck is this going on in this? So I had to, I had to start tuning in. So we learn every day, and I love the way that you put that. Is that even when we think we're not learning, basically what you said, when we're just watching stuff, we're learning. So it's 24/7 if we're out here paying attention. So I like the way you worded that. I love that. Now this is what because I heard you say something earlier about these cameras. You started quoting some prices. What is the best camera to shoot with? Now you said a $10,000. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want a camera now. $10,000. So what is, in your opinion, what is the best camera to shoot with?
My personal goal to shoot with, and I think I'll get an opportunity to even be in the presence of this camera in the fall, is an Ari. That's big time. That's like a $40,000 or $50,000 camera, body only. That's before even getting a lens. Before and if you get that camera, you're not gonna get a regular $1,500 lens or something, you're gonna get a $16,000-$17,000 lens to go with it. But that's the ultimate goal. I shoot with a Black Magic, with the Ursa Mini. That run like all together to put it together is probably about $8,000. And that's on the cheap. That was the reason I got it, because it was probably one of the cheapest ways to get in. But like a lot of folks love to shoot on reds.
That's what I hear a lot is the reds.
So if you're an iPhone person, you'll probably love the red. And it's just simply because it's very proprietary. So you need to buy red things. And,
so
and
it's
there's
like
a lot of
the
things that come along with it. Yeah. So most cameras, they just come with a body. So you need to be like, if you're thinking about buying a camera, you're going to get a body. You got to think about lenses, what lenses that you want to use and stuff like that. And I say $10,000 because that's probably the cheapest that you can get, like that you can get gear. But
wow.
I mean, I took out a loan to do it. So, you know, but wow. You can also there are cheaper cameras out there. The reason I got my camera is because it's on the Netflix list.
Oh, okay. Explain that to us. What you mean on the Netflix list?
So there are certain cameras that in order to like pitch to certain networks and stuff like that, those cameras have to be approved for the network. So if you shoot you have to shoot a high percentage of your film or your project on that camera in certain settings.
Oh, okay.
For you to be able to like pitch and all that type of stuff if it's already done. And so the camera that I have is on that list, and that's a lot of folks buy their cameras based on that.
Wow, you just see, wow. And you know what? I've seen that in specs on some stuff I didn't understand that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's I mean, there's a lot more to go with it aside from the camera. But like I said, the barrier to entry is easy now. If you can come up with a 10 grand, you can get a camera. You can get a good camera. You can get a camera that can get you on Netflix or something if you got the right project and you know the right people.
Wow. That was some very informative information, because I mean, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't understand that it was a certain camera, because I'm thinking as long as it look good, but it's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's got to be like delivered in certain aspect or a certain codec or something like that. So you have to have shot it in a certain codec because it's got to look good, and whatever way that they process it on their end, it has to still work. Like, it's a lot that goes into it. Like, we at one point we had a Roku channel, me and a couple of partners, and that's something that we really had to make sure, like, okay, we needed to be, our thing was size. So, okay, I need your show, it can't be bigger than a certain amount, because our storage and stuff like that. But we had some of that criteria also. And it just happens around whatever the process is, and you just want everything to look as good as possible on as many screens as possible. So if you turn on like a laptop, you want it to look good, but if you're watching it on your phone, it needs to also look good and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I just went to school in 20 seconds.
I'm not an expert on that part of it quite yet, but learning.
No, and I'm actually in the process of setting up a Roku channel. And when you said that, you just cleared up some fog, because I was stuck in that area, and I'm like, what the heck? Trying to set it up, and it's a lot of work in setting up Roku. Yeah, but it's a lot of work. I finally just did like this, close the laptop, I'm done for the night. For the month. Right. I'll come back in a month or two because this is too much. So that makes sense, because I saw that with the codec, and I was like, what the heck? Okay, so I know who I need to call the next time I get stuck in the next month or two when I decide to go back and finish working on it, because I'm like, not right now. Okay, well, you have enlightened us. That is some good information. Okay, what advice? We are almost there. what advice would you give a new upcoming videographer? What advice would you give them?
Study. Like, I think something that happened for me was I didn't know what I wanted to do for a while. Like, I knew that I wanted to be in the industry, and you already know, like, oh, I want to direct, I want to produce, stuff like that. And I was doing mostly videography, and then I got into sound stuff, and so I was doing a lot of sound, you know. And when I got the opportunity to shoot with Lakeisha Avery Stewart on her show, Different, then I really realized that I wanted to DP. So I feel like what I would say is I would say try a lot of different things, feel out one, so you know how production works and you kind of know what other people's jobs are supposed to be. And so if something is going wrong, you can be like, hey, that's not quite right, or something like that. But you don't have to be an expert. But then once you figure out what you want to do, I would just say dive in head first. Like, just learn everything you can about it. Read, listen to podcasts, subscribe. There's so many filmmakers. Find the DP that you like, find their movies, watch them, or the sound person that you like, find their YouTube. They might do content, or their Instagram, or whatever. That's what I would say, is just study, like, learn it, like, really dive deep into it. Don't stick to a surface level job. Just like dive in, so and you can create something amazing because you do know.
Wow. And that is some definitely some good feedback. And I tell a lot of people that, even with people that have like that won't just started acting, and they're up in a mature age, and they were like, well, what do I need to do? Audition,
Study. Like,
study. I mean, you already in class, so why audition? Go try. And so, what if you get told no? Or so what if you're not, booked? If you don't get booked, so what? Go audition. Go get into some stuff. It's people out here like in. Shout out to Texas Indie Filmmaker Group. Woo, woo, we got almost 5,000, 5,000 members, and it's people like even in that group that are doing like projects. Needing people to act. So you might, if you haven't done it, go jump in on those projects and act and get the experience and stuff like that. You gotta, like you say, you gotta jump. Bottom line.
I submit for everything I feel like I'm even the slightest bit qualified for. I used to kind of hold back, but now that it's my livelihood and not just my full-time side job, if that makes sense,
right?
Then you just gotta jump in, and like anything I feel like I'm even a little bit qualified for, any camera I touch, I'm now an expert. Like, I can shoot with that camera now. So
there you go.
For anybody, actors or anything like that, like, if you're a comedic actor and they're like, go do some drama. If you're a dramatic actor, go do some comedy.
Exactly.
Like, work with different people, like step outside your box. And a lot of us here in Texas, we group, which is good, because you'll continue working. And I love the groups that I've been a part of, but I also love the groups that I'm meeting too. And so you get to step outside your box, see some different things,
right?
See how other people work. I would I guess I wish I'd have jumped in at 23 rather than wait until I was in my 30s to do it. So just do it. Right. Like, that's the biggest thing I can say, especially if you can stay on your parents' insurance and live with them.
That's the time you really need to do it.
Right.
Because, you really need to be doing it and trying to get it while you can.
Yeah, but for those who can't, still just do it. You can do it on the weekends. Most people are anyway. Most of the indie people, they're doing it on the weekends.
Exactly. And a lot of us, like you say, are after work, after hours, because a lot of people are still holding down full-time jobs in this industry. And they, they're still working their passion on the side. So you're right. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of opportunities, and you just can't be afraid. And it's a lot of people are partnering out here that are working together, and And that's one thing that I'm really loving about the Texas Indie Filmmaker Group is that I'm watching and I'm seeing people like throwing opportunities out here, and I be tagging y'all when I see stuff. In case y'all not in there, I be tagging. I mean, everybody that I know that would be good for those opportunities. So I like, the communication that is going forth in that group, and it's a lot of work out here, y'all, in Texas. Texas is a big place. Like you say, it's a lot of work coming to Texas. What's his name? Just did a video right here in Fort Worth. I shared it with my class. Y'all typing in the chat because y'all know I'm old and I be forgetting these young rappers' names.
Kendrick
Lamar.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right. And they kept that on the hush. They said that was shot 2 years ago. That was shot.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just saw that he had done it. Yeah. I thought he did it recently.
And he did. He was at the Water Gardens and he was at the Fort Worth art museum. And of course, when I saw everything, I'm from Funky Town. I recognize my city. So I'm like, what? He was here. That's the Water Garden. So we are seeing, and they sneaking in our city doing stuff. Ain't telling us. But
yeah.
But I mean,
the thing about that stuff is they bring their own crew.
They need to stop that. We got crew right here in Texas.
Yeah, we got crew in Texas for sure.
We got crew in Texas. So, but it was exciting to see that, to know that Texas is really being put on the map. Texas is so big. There's so many opportunities in Texas. And that's one thing that I love promoting Texas, because this is our state, and we want the work too. We don't, you shouldn't have to go fly to Atlanta or go to LA, for the work. And, and Austin is popping. Austin been popping, but I see, Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, these areas are coming up as well. So when you made your statement earlier, I have to totally agree with you about that there's a lot to do here. There's a lot to do here.
Yeah. So, I mean, just get, like, Facebook, like, these are the things that people told me just a year ago. Get in every group you can on Facebook and, reach out to folks. And I think I think anybody can be successful in it.
Exactly. And reaching out and networking, and a lot of people be like, but you the CEO and you, I still struggle because I can stay behind my phone because I be like, I like to talk on my phone. They was like, people is trying to get me to act, people trying to book me. And I'm like, no, I'm not an actor. I teach people. They was like, you'll be acting. I say, no, but I got control of my camera because I'm doing this. I say, you will have control of the camera. I'm going to get scared and I'm getting nervous. But I mean,
we should do an interview with you. We should do a whole interview, like a short mini doc type thing. We could do something like that.
You see my face? Okay, we'll talk offline because you didn't threw me all the way off. What question? What was I at now? I'm trying to ignore the whole thing. But the networking part, that's something that I have a mentor. Actually, our VP of Ladies in Film, Dr. Katrina Pulliam, that is my mentor, and my publicist. And she stays on me about this networking stuff. I'm good with I'll talk and I get it out. And when I need to go do business or somebody contact me, I'll show up. But that's it. I do bare minimum. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. That's it. And that is a goal. Don't laugh at me. But that is a goal.
No, I feel you 100%. Like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm gonna show up for you for sure. But the reaching out, hey, let's just go chat, let's go have coffee, that's a little bit harder for me. But
right. I'm working. That's me. So I'm working on that. So Nick, you and I are going to go have coffee. How about that?
Yes, we do. We need to. I actually, before you had sent me the information for this, I was intending to message you about that.
Okay, so we're gonna have a coffee date. We said it live, y'all. We're going Dutch Brothers. I'm a Dutch Brothers fan now. Dutch Bros. But okay. Last but not least, because we almost out of time. Didn't I tell you this is her first interview, y'all? Didn't she do well? Her first interview ever. Right here, y'all. I couldn't tell that this was your first interview. But before we go, we got like 1 minute. And if I go over, it's my show. I can do what I want to do anyway. But we're gonna close out. And actually, we got through. That was all the questions. You made it through all of the questions. That was nice. It. You did them all. But we got a surprise takeover, y'all. We're gonna talk about it. We finna go. We ain't gonna give it all to you. We just gonna throw a little bit out there to you. But I am so excited, y'all. After I got this is a true story. I got her resume as she sent me her photos and everything over for this interview. So I'm reading like, she did what? So all of you know about the kids show that we have, Destiny Squad. And y'all know we had to shut down due to the pandemic. We tried to do it like I'm doing now. Kids did not like it. They weren't feeling it. They was getting attitudes. I'm about to fight them. So we just shut that show on down because they was like, we like being face to face. We like being on set. So, and I get that. And I respect that. Just because they're children, we just can't say, well, we still need the show to go on. I respect their decision. They was like, they didn't like it. They didn't like the virtual platform at all. So, of course, we're moving out, trying to anyway, out of this pandemic. And so I talked to, after I read her resume, and I'm like, would you like to handle the DOP, do all of this Destiny Squad? I'm like, here. And she took the role. So I'm super excited of her that she's going to be actually working with the squad. We're going to bring in the other part of the team. She's gonna. I handed it to her. I mean, she's been on set, so she's gonna teach us some things about what needs to be done with the squad. She's got ideas how we're gonna run the show. They're gonna be on a set now. We're moving from the radio to an actual kids TV show. So congratulations for you on this next adventure with the squad. We're going to actually audition. We're going to bring 2 more kids onto the squad. So we're going to be auditioning, which she's going to be part of that process as well, to get us 2 more lively kids to get on, and so that we can get the show on the road. So it's going to be further down, some months away, y'all, because we getting our set. We got to get everything built back up because COVID shut us all the way down. I moved out of, I had to shut buildings down. I was running, baby, ducking and covering. But now things are coming back. I'm in the process of looking for a new building. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for accepting the opportunity to work with the squad. They are excited. I told them about you already, and we're going to be looking for those 2 members. So y'all stay tuned for Destiny Squad. This lady is going to be behind the scenes. She's on the team. Is it anything that you want to share? Don't give them your ideas because people be stealing. Don't give them your ideas. But what are your goals for this? Because did you go look at the videos and all that good stuff? So what do you think? What are your goals for the squad?
I think the biggest thing that I'm excited about is just being able to work with them, work with the kids, teach them about production, because my goal for them is for them to be able to run it themselves, if that makes sense.
Right.
So like we'll be behind them. I want to bring in some other people that I've been working with to talk to them, to help us out, to volunteer, help us out a little bit, but so they get an idea of what this really is, and we can come up with all the ideas and the things that they want to do together. They'll learn how to write the script. They'll learn how to run down. They'll learn how to like schedule their show all together. And, that's the biggest thing I'm excited about, is like being able to interact with them, because that's something that I think I wish I would have had when I was a kid. Yes. Is somebody who had the same interest as I did that could show me the way.
Wow. Well, I am super excited, y'all. And for all of the ladies in film, I see Lucretia is on here, Michaela, Tammy, I see a lot, Annie. Hi, I see a lot of Lyft people on here. Hi, y'all. So, and Katie, I kept that secret. They didn't know. None of them knew about this secret, Nick. But I just let the cat out of the bag live. So now y'all know. I know when we go on the next board call, y'all gonna be like, "You didn't tell us." Well, y'all know now. So congratulations. We wanted to save the news for this day. Y'all stay tuned. Watch out for more Destiny Squad. Follow her, y'all. We want you to go ahead and go and follow her. And we actually gonna she's on Facebook as Nic Simmons, and Instagram is 1121 Media. You can follow her on Instagram, Facebook. We need y'all on there following her. For all of you that are out there that are needing to hire or need somebody like her, look, here she is. Y'all met her. She was behind the scene. I brought her forefront. Now y'all seen her. And don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, there she is. So anything that you want to close with, anything you want to say to, you got a lot of people on here looking. So anything you want to say to everybody that's out there, I'm going to let you close us out.
Okay, so this is where the nervousness comes in a little bit. Thanks for having me. Like 100%, I appreciate it. It's really great to be seen. And that's a thing that I'm learning, that is great to be seen. And I want to make it my goal to like see other people too. And just thanks for having me on. I'm excited for the work that we're going to do and just moving forward. And of course, I am available for hire. I do it full time, so I can work weekdays too.
Y'all heard that from her. So we want to thank you. We want to thank all of our viewers out there. This show, look, I'm going to sound like I'm in church. This show would not have been what it was if it wasn't for you on here watching and giving us these encouraging words. I tried to click and bring as many of them up for her. Thank you all so much. Continue to share. Continue to log on. And also, I like highlighting our members. I try my best, and I have people that are point me in different directions. You need to go talk to her. But hey, if you got things going on, we got a hashtag, and we definitely want you guys to use our hashtag. And you might be one of the people say, I don't want them. I don't want to ask them to interview me, because I wouldn't want to ask nobody to interview me. But you could throw a little hint by throwing us a hashtag, because you ain't got to ask me, because if I find you on my hashtag, I'm going to go hunt you down and I'm going to call you and say, look, I want to interview you. So use our hashtag, which is hashtag Ladies in Film and Television. And this is how we can find you. We do community spotlights as well. You don't have to be a member for that. And if you got some things going on, tag us. Even if you don't want to be on the show, tag us. We want to see what you got going on. So please use our hashtag. And we want to thank, again, all of you for showing up. And this concludes our show for tonight. So stay tuned for whoever we got coming, because the next show is the community show. And I got somebody coming. And y'all just hold on, because I wasn't going to show them now, because they're not going to take all of her glory. I couldn't be posting them. They had to wait to get their little flyer out there. So Nic was first. So Nic, you're over with, girl. You did it. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you all, and we wish you all a good night. So good night, everybody. And continue to encourage and lift one another up. We need that in the world today. And also prayer goes out to San Antonio down there, where that tragedy just happened today. Y'all pray over our kids. I pray over mine every day, because this is terrible. And I don't know what else. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but we need to continue to pray over our kids, y'all, and just continue to lift one another up and watch out for one another and continue to love. All right, y'all, that's my little sermon. Love you guys. Thank y'all so much for joining, and y'all have a blessed night. Good night.